We are aware if we start mentioning the projects that we get from the federal government, the continuation of the ones he inherited, I can continue to list them the whole day. But I will have to mention some. The Kano Meduguri Road that crosses Jigawa was awarded almost 12 years ago or more. And we have not seen serious movement up till now. Almost all the sections across Jigawa are almost completed. And since 2015, when Baba decided to continue with all the existing projects, this road, the contractors have been busy on this road, and there is no single day that they withdraw from the site. Despite the very tight economic conditions that we all know Baba inherited. The minister has mentioned the situation we find ourselves in 2015 when we took over power. The dwindling resources, the crash in oil prices, the bombardments of our oil installations. At one time, our production level dropped to 500,000 barrels a day, as against a steady 2.2 million barrels a day that previous governments have been enjoying. Prices dropped from an average of 110, 120 to an average of 40. But still, Baba continued with all the projects that he inherited that there were no people in sight. I think about 260 of them across the country, and we have 2 in Jigawa State that I can remember, or 3. One of such projects is Kano, and since then it's a really high speed completion. We also have the Shuaru-Kono-Huguma Road that crosses to the capital. It was quiet, no movement, contractors have withdrawn. When Baba inherited them, there was no contractors on site also at that time. But this road is almost completed today. And we see contractors working day and night trying to complete that project. Jigawa Power Station was awarded over 20 years ago. And nobody was putting serious attention to it until this government. And now this project is commissioned, is completed, and it was slated for commissioning today, but because of the little crisis in the country, it was postponed. But that has been completed also. The same thing was Hadeja Valley project. That has also been there, that the trimming. We are now extending the infrastructure, and there is serious dredging going out there. New roads were awarded and contractors have moved to site. Kaping Hausa through Jahon to Gaya, we have been begging for this project for over a decade, and it is awarded now, and they have started, and I think they have done some 3-4 kilometers already on fillings. Zikona Dumawa Kanya Babara Babamutun to Niger border. It's another project that has been begging for more than a decade, and that is awarded. And I heard last week the contractors have moved to site because there were some issues before on the revocation of the previous contractor that could not perform. So they have moved to site and they are working. The Kazaure Water Works, costing over 3 billion. Fantastic water works. And to cap it all, we have solar power supply. So it won't cost me money or diesel. That's a fantastic project. I visited it last week. Delivered by the federal government through our son, the minister. I visited the university also. I was amazed. In Sulelameda University alone, there are 3 billion worth of UBEC special intervention going on there. There was water works there that was done by the federal government as well. The they have done some road network, and they are currently doing additional road network there. They are building a hostel for us in their university. And there are various boreholes across, and also the support that we have been seeing, the rapid development in the FUD, Federal University Dusi, supported by the federal government again. And we have seen various interventions through various members of House of Representatives and Senate, from borehole water supply. You can't even mention, you can't number. So much are happening. Some people don't even know. So we cannot say enough thank you to Baba. We would rather ask you to thank him on the behalf of Jigawa State government. The social intervention program by the federal government have done wonders to our people. The school feeding program that was feeding all our people. The Empower program that employs a lot of Jigawa youth. The money and market trader and market monies that have helped our entrepreneurs, and to carry it all, the cash transfer program that supported so many families. And I'm so proud with one family, one community, with the money they make from this program. They contributed money to buy a small car that will move pregnant women to the nearest hospital. So that is the kind of passion they have, and that is a way of saying thank you to Badaru Buhari for supporting us and bringing us out of poverty. So many supports we get during disasters. The 2018 disaster, we have just finished distributing about 600 to 700 trucks of fertilizers to farmers, including insecticide, pesticide, herbicide, fungicide, and sprayers. And they are sending 300 more, and I think they have started delivery of the fertilizers for those that we could not deliver earlier. During the COVID-19, we got a support of 1 billion naira from the president, in addition to 150 trucks of food items that were distributed to our people. It's really remarkable. Like I said, we cannot thank Baba Buhari enough. And in the whole country, as governors, he managed to keep us out of trouble. When we came in, the same problem experienced by the federal government, the state government experienced it. A lot of unpaid bills and a lot of work in progress and shrinking revenues. At that time, 24 to 27 states were not able to pay salaries. President Buhari said he cannot see workers not being paid what they are due. And he called all the governors and tell us to give the account of how much money is being owed. Those that have not paid salaries for 10 months, 11. Some states have an outstanding of 30, 40 billion. The president ordered the ministry to give us that money to pay the arrears and maintain paying the salaries. That's the biggest bailout done to states. No governor in this country, either APC, PDP, or Afghan that did not appreciate this gesture and support. And we went to Baba again and said, okay, now you have solved salary problem. There are some works that have to be done. Some projects were started, and if we do not continue, they will go damage. President graciously agreed for a loan of 10 billion each in each state. We went back to the president and said, Baba, we have done some federal projects and we need some reforms. Some of these projects have been done 10, 15 years ago. Subsequent governments only select some few and pay. He said, okay, account. And we do account, and he said he will pay in 2 tranches. The first tranches was paid. Your airport was paid. We get a refund of 10 billion naira. And many states across the country, across party lines, get their refunds. And that helped all the governors. After that, we go back again and say, Baba, the federal government have to pay us the pay as you earn that you are not deducting in our states and they are not paying. Again, it's calculated. It was calculated, and every state was paid. And we go back to say, there is small balance, and he said calculate, and now it's in the process of being paid. I don't know what the governors could have done without this magnanimity. And at that time, when the prices of oil goes down and the dollar was still selling less, many states could not be able to pay salaries. Then we go back and say, you have bailed us out, but now we'll have to start not to pay because the money is going down. He said, okay, find solution for them. Then they said we should get budget support. So after the correct allocation, every state is being allocated. First was 1 billion. So that will complement our effort to pay salaries. And this 1 billion drops to 800 million depending on how good we are getting improvement in our revenues. And the last on the list was 500 million payment every month, and that goes into 18 months, almost 18 months. President was supporting the states to pay salaries. So we go back again. We said there is Paris Club that was forgiven, and there are so many deductions done to the states 10, 20 years ago. During Obasanjo, there was an agreement and the money was forgiven. But our deductions, they have deducted. Then they say, pay us. I think Jigawa, between state and local government, got almost 30 billion. Almost 30 billion. There are states with 40, 50 billion. Paris Club report. So all these monies help us to deliver goods and services to our people, without which we could have hardly go out of our offices and meet our people, because there could hardly be any job to do to the people. So, Honorable Minister, it's good, like I said, for Baba to say thank you for his children. But he has done much more than deserve whatever little way we can do to support him. He has deserved more and more. That is why in Jigawa State, we keep praying for him. And And that is why, because all Jigawa people have the knowledge of what is happening, and they know how President supported us. And we have slogan in Jigawa State that Baba bai kashe zomo ba, na taya aka bashi, because we know the difficulty he faced. And even with that difficulty, he's always there for us and for the governors of Nigeria, across party lines. We will continue to pray for him, for Allah's guidance, for good health, for peace and unity of this country. But I would like to use this opportunity to also thank the people of Jigawa State for understanding and for appreciating what the President have been doing to us. Our traditional rulers, the 5 emirs, have been wonderful in prayers, and the Council of Ulama and all our imams have been very, very supportive and very, very understanding. And the youth and the NGOs and the civil society organizations have been wonderful. When this protest came, they said, no, in Jigawa we have peace, we are not going to protest. We are coming with a letter to give to the governor. And in Jigawa State, they agree that the 5 points taken quickly by the President is a very good sign, it's a very good step, and they appreciate it. And they join his supporters in accepting whatever he proposed on SWAT. They marched in Duse in support of SWAT. They ended up in the Deputy Governor's office to support the President and continue to appreciate him. We thank you. We thank you very much. And when these exaggerated rumors yesterday started filtering of our people being humiliated and killed in Abia and Rivers, we calm their nerves. We tell them, you cannot allow the action of some stupid people push you into doing something more stupid. We are sure our friends in the southeast and south-south will not allow anything to happen to our people willingly. It was the act of some devilish people, and it was also exaggerated, and that the governments in those states have taken action to protect our people.